They were all actually Himalayan bluestones. Himalaya is soul. This is called Alanta stone. Vishnu Swami's, because this is called infinite, all straight lines. Different beings here, single form. So it is, this stone is available in that form, Dhaulagiri and place. And this is Shiva stone. This is smoke quartz. These are called towers of consciousness. In Himalayas, it is full of this God's communication towers. Original quartz. Quartz means low energy. It has no prakriti. So that's why.
Aprakrita.
This is the Spatika of Himalaya. This is Ananta Spatika. This is Spatika.
Interesting. Very, very divine.
That is the largest saligram.
I think must be very, very divine. As you enter, there is energy, complete. I should get
Yes.
I can take it.
No.
You all know to sit here.
No. Himalayan apples, the last one is.
Oh, very
Yeah, so
interesting.
these are special.
Thank you.
Yes. Please sit.
ఓం శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః హరి ఓం గణానాన్త్వా గణపతిగుం హవామహే కవిం కవీనాముపమశ్రవస్తమం జ్యేష్ఠరాజం బ్రహ్మణాం బ్రహ్మణస్పత ఆనః శృణ్వన్నోతిభిः సేదసాదనం ప్రణో దేవీ సరస్వతీ వాజేభిర్వాజినీవతి ధీనామవిత్రియవతు గురుర్బ్రహ్మా గురుర్విష్ణుర్గురుర్దేవో మహేశ్వరః గురుః సాక్షాత్ పరం బ్రహ్మ తస్మై శ్రీ గురవే నమః శ్రీ మహాగణాధిపతయే నమః శ్రీ మహాసరస్వత్యై నమః శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః హరి ఓం అర్ధ్యాస్మ హవ్యైర్నమసోపసద్య మిత్రం దేవం మిత్రధేయన్నో అస్తు అనురాధాన్ హవిషా వర్ధయంతః శతం జీవేమ శరదః సవీరాః చిత్రం నక్షత్రముదగాత్ పురస్తాత్ అనురాధా స ఇతి యద్వదంతి తన్మిత్ర ఏతి పథిభిర్దేవయానైః హిరణ్యయైర్వితతైరంతరిక్షే ఇంద్రో జ్యేష్ఠామనునక్షత్రమేతి యస్మిన్ వృత్రం వృత్రతూర్యే తతారా తస్మిన్ వయమమృతం దుహానాః క్షుధంతరే మధురితిందురిష్టిం పురంధరాయ వృషభాయ ధృష్ణవే అషాఢాయ సహమానాయ మీఢుషే ఇంద్రాయ జ్యేష్ఠా మధుమద్దుహానా ఉరుం కృణోతు యజమానాయ లోకం మూలం ప్రజాం వీరవతీం విజేయ పరాచ్యేతు నివృత్తిః పరాచ గోభిర్నక్షత్రం పశుభిः సమక్తం అహర్భూయాద్యజమానాయ మహ్యం అహర్నో అద్య సువితే దధాతు మూలన్నక్షత్రమితి యద్వదంతి పరాచీం వాచా నిరుతిం నుదామి శివం ప్రజాయై శివమస్తు మహ్యం యా దివ్యా ఆపః పయసా సంబభూవుః యా అంతరిక్ష ఉత పార్థివీర్యాః యాసామషాఢా అనుయంతి కామం తాన ఆపశ్యగ్గుస్యోనా భవంతు యాశ్చ కూప్యా యాశ్చ నాద్యాః సముద్రియాః యాశ్చ వైశంతీర్తప్రాసచీర్యాః యాసామషాఢా మధుభక్షయంతి తాన ఆపశ్యగ్గుశ్రోణా భవంతు తన్నో విశ్వే ఉపశృణ్వంతు దేవాః తదషాఢా అభిసయ్యంతు యజ్ఞం तन्नक्षत्रम् प्रददाम् पशुभ्यः कृशिर्वृष्टिर्यजमानाय कल्पताम् शुभ्राः कन्या युवतयः सुपेशसः कर्मकृतः सुकृतो वीर्यावतेः विश्वान् देवान् हविषा वर्धयन्तेः अषाढाः काममुपयान्तु यज्ञम् यस्मिन् ब्रह्माभ्यजयत् सर्वमेतत् अमुञ्च लोकमिदमुच सर्वम् तन्नो नक्षत्रमभिदिद्विदित्य श्रियम् दधात्वहृणीयमानम् उभौ लोकौ ब्रह्मणा सञ्जितेमौ तन्नो नक्षत्रमभिदिद्विचष्टाम् तस्मिन् वयम् पृतनाः सञ्जयेम तन्नो देवासो अनुजानन्तु कामम् शृण्वन्ति श्रोणाममृतस्य गोपाम् पुण्यामस्य उपशृणोमि वाचम् महीम् देवीम् विष्णुपत्नीमजूर्याम् प्रतीचीमेनागुम् हविषा यजामः त्रेधा विष्णुरुगायो विचक्रमे महीम् दिवम् पृथिवीमन्तरिक्षम् तच्छ्रोणैति श्रव इच्छमाना पुण्यग्श्लोकं यजमानाय कृण्वति अष्टौ देवा वसवः सोम्यासः चतस्रो देवी रजराश्रविष्ठाः ते यज्ञम् पान्तु रजसः परस्तात् संवत्सरेणमृतग्ः स्वस्ति यज्ञन्नः पान्तु रजसः पुरस्तात् दक्षिणतोऽभियन्तु श्रविष्ठाः पुण्यन्नक्षत्रमभिसंविशाम मानो अरातिरघशपुंसागन्नो क्षत्रस्य राजा वरुणोऽधिराजः नक्षत्राणागुंशतभिषद्वसिष्ठः तौ देवेभ्यः कृणुतो दीर्घमायुः शतगुंसहस्राभेषजानि धत्तः यज्ञन्नो राजा वरुण उपयातु तन्नो विश्वे अभिसंयन्तु देवाः तन्नो नक्षत्रगुंशतभिषद्जुषाणम् दीर्घमायुः प्रतिरद्भेषजानि अज एकपादुदगात् पुरस्तात् विश्वाभूतानि प्रतिमोदमानः तस्य देवाः प्रसमयन्ति सर्वे प्रोष्ठपदासो अमृतस्य गोपाः विभ्राजमानः समिधान उग्रः आन्तरिक्षमरुहदगन्द्याम् तगुं सूर्यम् देवमजमेकपादम् प्रोष्ठपदासो अनुयन्ति सर्वे अहिर्बुद्धिर्यः प्रथमान एति श्रेष्ठो देवानामुतमानुषाणाम् तम् ब्राह्मणाः सोमपाः सोम्यासः प्रोष्ठपदासो अनुयन्ति सर्वे चत्वार एकमभिकर्म देवाः प्रोष्ठपदास इति यान् वदन्ति ते बुद्ध्रियम् परिषद्यग्गुस्तुवन्तः अहिगुं रक्षन्ति रमसोपसद्य पूषा रेवत्यन्वेति पन्थाम् पुष्टिपदे पशुपा वाजवस्त्यौ इमानि हव्या प्रयताजुषाणा सुगैर्नो यानैरुपयाताम् यज्ञम् क्षुद्रान् पशून् रक्षतु रेवतीनः गावो नो अश्वागु अन्वेतु पूषा अन्नगुं रक्षन्तौ बहुधा विरूपम् वाजगुं सनुताय यजमानाय यज्ञम् तदश्विनावश्वयुजोपयाताम् शुभङ्गमिष्ठौ सुयमेभिरश्वैः स्वन्नक्षत्रगो हविषा यजन्तौ मध्वा सम्पृक्तौ यजुषा समक्तौ यौ देवानाम् भिषजौ हव्यवाहौ विश्वस्य दूतावमृतस्य गोपौ तौ नक्षत्रम् जुजुषाणोपयाताम् नमोऽश्विभ्याम् कृणुमोऽश्वयुभ्याम् अपपाप्मानम् भरणीर्भरन्तु तद्यमो राजा भगवानुविचष्टाम् लोकस्य राजा महतो महानिः सुगन्नः पन्थामुभयम् कृणोतु यस्मिन्नक्षत्रे यम एति राजा यस्मिन्नेनमभ्यषिञ्चन्त देवाः तदस्य चित्रगुं हविषा यजाम अपपाप्मानम् भरणीर्भरन्तु ॐ अग्निराजुष्मान् सवनस्पतिभिराजुष्मान् तेन त्वाजुषायुष्मन्तम् करोमि सोम आयुष्मान् स ओषधीभिराजुष्मान् तेन त्वाजुषायुष्मन्तम् करोमि यज्ञ आजुष्मान् स दक्षिणाभिराजुष्मान् तेन त्वाजुषायुष्मन्तम् करोमि ब्रह्मायुष्मत्तद्ब्राह्मणैराजुष्मत्तेन त्वाजुषायुष्मन्तम् करोमि देवा आयुष्मन्तस्ते मृतेनायुष्मन्तस्तेन त्वाजुषायुष्मन्तम् करोमि यो वैताम् ब्रह्मणो वेद अमृतेनावृताम् पुरीम् तस्मै ब्रह्म च आयुः कीर्तिम् प्रजाम् ददुः भागधेयेनैवैनम् प्रणयते ब्राह्मणा ऋषेय उद्धरेत् ब्राह्मणो वै सर्वा देवताः सर्वाभिरेवैनम् देवताभिरुद्धरति यावतीर्वै देवतास्ताः सर्वा वेदविदि ब्राह्मणे वसन्ति तस्मात् ब्राह्मणेभ्यो वेदविद्भ्यो दिवे दिवे नमस्कुर्यान्नाश्लीलकीर्तयेत् वेदा एव देवताः प्रीणाति पर्याप्त्या अनन्तरायाय सर्वस्तोमोति रात्र उत्तममहर्भवति सर्वस्याप्त्यै सर्वस्यदित्यै सर्वमेव तेनाप्नोति सर्वं जयति शतं जीव शरदो वर्धमान इत्यपि निगमो भवति शतमित शतं दीर्घमायुर्मरुत एना वर्धयन्ति शतमेनमेव शतात्मानं भवति शतमनन्तं भवति शतमैश्वर्यं भवति शतमिति शतं दीर्घमायुः शतमानं भवति शतायुः पुरुषः शतेन्द्रिय आयुष्येवेन्द्रिये प्रतिष्ठति
ओम शतमानं भवति शतायुः पुरुषः शतेन्द्रिय आयुष्येवेन्द्रिये प्रतिष्ठति शतमानं भवति शतायुः पुरुषः प्रतिष्ठति
नमस्ते, प्रणाम, शुभोदय, स्वागत, अभिवाद। Welcome. The Panchami. In the south it is till Kartika Masa, Krishna Paksha, Panchami. Today is Children's Day today in India. Today is the one who loves the children is the first Prime Minister, the one who is the right hand of the Mahatma Gandhi, is Nehru's birthday today. In north it is already Margashira Masa. Margashira. Now people have to change directions in Himalayas because the cold is becoming imminent in Himalayas. So people go slowly into the caves, and very little time they come out to spend. Otherwise it's a period of meditation over there. Elsewhere Kartika is a period where they come out after the Varsha Rutu, after the rainy season. They come out to go out everywhere. So we have August presence of S. Sridharan. As I always tell, if we have to learn something from someone, if we get someone at the ripened age, at experienced At ripened age, if you have to learn where it is a surgery, where it is a art, where it is a science, where it is a spirituality, we have to learn from an experienced one. In India, it is all about joint family called a union family. You have all the levels of drashta, darshana, drishya, so that the generations together, they are the observations, levels of observation in India. In a family, you have your parents and you have grandparents, parents. So the tradition of the darshana is a culture in India. That's why children always, under observation, they behave properly. As we know, electrons, the world of entropy, the prakriti, the world of vaisheshika, the world of atoms, is all having dvaita swabhava, duality. Only when we observe, if there is an observer like Atlas, then only Higgs boson is found. So then only it loses its duality and it behaves like a particle. It goes straight instead of going here and there. And that's why the traditions where the observer is there, observation is there, they are the greatest traditions. The tradition of Krishnamacharya tradition, a pure dharmic tradition, like the other day we called from Kailas Ashram. My acquaintance with the Krishnamacharya is from Varanasi, from his juniors who has referred to him. The Varanasi is a Sanskrit, it is called Brahma Vidya. It is Sanskrit. If you have to learn anyone, one has to go to the Varanasi. From there, you get connections. Where it is Dhanraj Maharaj, who established Kailas Ashram in Rishikesh. Or you name anyone, they're all. Of course, Kailas Ashram became a place of Sanskrit, teaching Sanskrit, restoring the Dharma. So when I met Krishnamacharya, he asked, Kim Namadeyasya, what is your name? Vrishakapi. Oh, Vrishakapaya Vai Namo Namaha. Ko Pradeshasya, from which place? Kalasa. Kalasa. Kalasha means Kalasha. Every puja we perform in India, we keep Kalasha. Without Pratishtha, Kalasha Pratishtha, means that is a tower of connecting to the consciousness. That's called Kailasa, Kalasa, Kalasha. The words in Himalayas, they transcend as we go up in the stream. Not many people know. Everyone performs. In India, the ritualist is Shodashopachara as a part of establishing a Kalasha Pratishtapana Deto. But that is a tower of consciousness, representing Ishta Devata, representing Adhisthana Devata, representing that deity. Where is a Vishnu, where is a Lakshmi, there is a way of establishing the Kalasha. Either Sri Sukta Vidhanena, if it is of the Vishnu Sampradaya, or if it is a Shiva Sampradaya, Purusha Sukta Vidhanena. Only two ways of establishing. So procedural little bit differences. How different the Lord Vishnu from Shiva? Because he is the protector. There is a question asked to me. He is a protector of the Dharma. He is a carrier of the Dharma. He is the one who administers the yoga to us. He is our Guru. The giver is the Shiva. But actually the one who protects, who passes on from generation to generation, from yuga to yuga, it is the Vishnu. Rudrastvam, Vishnustvam, Brahmastvam. The methodology of realization. So, I met Krishnamacharya in his ripened age, and my acquaintance is all with him because of the referral. He spent his valuable time. He asked, so Kim Prakarena? So he asked about my breath. He asked about my journey. And we have done a lot of tapasya in Himalayas. And of course, asana practice. So how we worked with the prana is the most important. I told him I worked with the tapasya. So kim prakarena, so which way you practiced? So then dharana, dhyana, first samadhi, second samadhi, third samadhi, fourth samadhi, called asmita samadhi, samprajñata samadhis, then asamprajñata samadhis. He inquired about where did you practice, where did you learn, so what is your heart rate? He told, do you know? So kim asanena, pranayamena, mudra bandhanena, dharanena, pratyaharena, dhyanena, means what he told me is even by asana you can achieve that stage. Even by pranayama you can achieve that stage. Even by mudra and bandhana you can achieve that stage of the calming down the breath, calming down the vrittis, calming down the dve bije rama, dve bije rama chittasya vasana va pranayama ya pranena. They are the two realities of the chitta. One is vasana, another one is breath. Tayo nashte dvipram nashyataha. Even one is calmed down, other one automatically calms down. If the breath calms down, mind calms down. If the mind calms down, breath calms down. That's what Vasishtha is explaining to the Lord Rama. In the northern traditions, when you go and learn yoga in Rishikesh, and my first learning is in Rishikesh. There they teach only asana. That's a different, static type it is called. Like yesterday you were learning static type practices means a asana is an individual entity you practice. That is called Charanadasa Varga. So standing postures as a one Varga, sitting postures as a one Varga, prawn postures as a one Varga, supine postures as a one Varga, and inversions as a one Varga you practice. So that is based on flow of going from top to down. In Kurantaka Varga, Kurantaka Yoga, we follow a sequence. So in Himalayas, once you cross this area of the Pahad area, then when you go into the Gompa area, it is all about Kapalikas, Kurantakas, Kaulikas, the yoga practiced. And as actually the tradition says, as the preserved yoga, actually it is a Natha Gurus. It is all about Kapalikas. That's how there was a mentioning by the Krishnamacharya that once he went along with Pattabhi Jois to Kolkata library and he saw a book. I told him the book is completely available, Kapala Kurantaka Yoga. He said it is Sri Tattvanidhi. It is another name given. It is a name given by the two in his notes. It is written. Otherwise, the original name is Kapala Kurantaka. The asana, the challenging asanas, or the sequence of asanas, the flow of asanas, you will find one asana after the other, the challenging asanas, everything you will find. There's only the book contains more than 120 asanas traditionally explaining. So, Krishnamacharya is very well accomplished. And during his, so his son was accompanying with him, is at ripened age. The one who assisted the Krishnamacharya and his tradition is Sri Sridharan. His experience is 40 years. With his own son, I did not have much exposure to the Deshikachar. Let me tell you honestly. Of course, I went to learn from Pattabhi Jois, then I went Krishnamacharya, then B.K.S. Iyengar. Then I realized there is something wrong with the practice. I have to go to their master. That's how I inquired about the Krishnamacharya. But when I met Krishnamacharya, Deshikacharya was not that famous, frankly speaking. So, but afterwards, I realized it when I met him. The one who is accompanying him is his son, Deshikacharya. and the one who is preserving at the ripened age. If at all we have to learn Krishnamacharya, all his learnings are from young age to a matured age. Naturally, whoever accompanied with him completely in the old age, they can give us the best of his whole life's teachings, without any doubt. Deshikacharya teachings will stand out. Vis-a-vis anyone's teachings, anyone learnt at any age of the Krishnamacharya. And the one who spent all through the life of the Deshikacharya, here is the person. He told me, all my acquaintance, all my selection is the Deshikacharya, which they aptly named it as, so actually this particular name is not used when I met with the Krishnamacharya, but he said it is a Chikitsa Krama. We explored Srishti Krama, Rakshana Krama, Shikshana Krama, and Adhyatmika Krama, Chikitsa Krama. These are the kramas which I really adored Krishnamacharya, because it is modern science versus modern exercises versus. If we have to explain yoga in terms of absolute fitness, that is the right language. So yoga practice as for endurance, yoga practice for heart, cardio endurance, for cardiovascular endurance, for increasing the metabolic power. In modern scientific terms, you have to use the Srishti Krama. As Krishnamacharya said, it is for the children, it is for those with the energies. Excellent way of, working with the heart. So which in modern terms we call aerobics, which we call cardiac exercises. In terms of, so increasing the heart capacity. And the best way is the Kurantaka practice. The best way is the Kurantaka sun salutations. The best practice is Srishti Krama, Rakshana Krama, staying in a posture, and that is called strength based. So today we go to the gym, we lift the weights. So which is a metabolic capacity. Infinite metabolic capacity only can be achieved when we build the cell with the mitochondrial density, infinite mitochondrial density, in a relaxed way, a programmed eccentric stretch. So stretching, all that yoga is all about a programmed inflammation, stretching a muscle in a programmed way. Not consuming energy, but by conservation of energy. That is called Rakshana Krama method. It entirely stands out differently from other traditions in India. So a systematic way of stretches, in a flow you follow, and staying in a posture. Atha Chaturangasana or Dandasana or Chaturangasana or every asana, so use your own body weight. That is enough. You use your own limbs weight so that your muscle is stretched, your all 650 muscles stretched, Rakshana Krama. And which is for metabolic capacity. He has given Srishti Krama for metabolic power, and he has given for infinite metabolic capacity, he has given, but infinite metabolic capacity can never be achieved. It can be achieved only when oxygen requirement is reduced. Conservation is achieved. Otherwise a sprinter is running, his muscles are demanding. For his limitation is oxygen, metabolic power, not metabolic capacity. So brain has to prioritize working muscles supplying the oxygen. But in yoga, the Krishnamacharya's meticulousness of understanding yoga of the Kurantaka is the Rakshana Krama. So stretching the muscle, building its capacity to achieve infinite metabolic capacity. So the conservation of oxygen, conservation of the prana. So that if the cell demands less oxygen, so heart can cope with. That's how Krishnamacharya demonstrated only 1 breath per minute. His oxygen requirement is lowest. His heart rate, as I told you, 20-22, which is, my rest heart rate is almost 20-22, which I did not achieve through the asana, but I achieved through the tapasya, achieved through the pranayama. But after learning from Krishnamacharya, it is possible. I realized how incredible to use asana as a way to achieve. Adhyatmika Krama is the way to achieve it. That is complete. These are the anabolic actions. One is for the heart, one is for the Rakshana Krama. Shikshana Krama is within this mat, respecting alignment and balance. So respecting your snayus and respecting your muscles. Not spending the energy. It is all about knack is how to conserve it. It is only in the old age, perhaps Krishnamacharya mastered that. You may be thinking, Iyengar is the way to conserve the energy, far behind compared to Krishnamacharya's ripened Shikshana Krama Adhyatmika krama, zero resistance, achieving infinite catabolism, making the body ketogenic. Just simple, 1 glass of milk is enough for a yogi because 1 ATP, one fat molecule produces 470 ATP. How much food Krishnamacharya consumed? He will tell. Because no food required. His body is completely in relaxed state. It is not only in the night when you lie down, you are in a relaxed state. But 24/7 you can observe. Even Sridharan sir you can observe. Now 40 years he spent, you can observe. Every monthly you can observe completely relaxed state. Prayatna, Shaidhinya, Ananta Samapattibhya. Already they achieved. You can see the Shaidhinya every moment. But without Prayatna Shaidhinya, no effortless. That catabolic state should come effortlessly. Like in the night, whole day if you are relaxed, if your system is relaxed, naturally you live long, naturally you live healthy. You achieve the purpose of yoga. You are a yogi who consumes less. The calories consumed directly proportional to oxygen consumption. The one who now trains the teachers in that authentic tradition of the Krishnamacharya, who is managing the tradition. You see, now the traditions, Indian gurus going abroad, now traditions are, the Indian gurus passed away, now the traditions are administered by Westerners. Now the Western handled yoga traditions like, so Vishnu Devananda's Hatha Yoga tradition, or you take ISKCON, or you take Transcendental Meditation. For the namesake on a board of governors you have an Indian doesn't mean. So they want to brand it. It is promoted more as a business. They don't mind giving the names of chief executive or a director. Like this modern corporate world it has become. A tradition only can be governed properly where its origins are there, where there is no commercialization, there is no business aspect, but there is a service aspect. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. The word English service comes from sarve. It is to serve all. Even today the Krishnamacharya tradition, it is committed. It is completely charity it is. In its core principle, it is to serve, its mission is to serve. It is to preserve the teachings of Krishnamacharya as it is. Of course, you can't comprehend Krishnamacharya by doing this 1 year course too. Impossible. But at least now there is a curriculum. The one who learnt from him directly, from his son directly, as long as Sridharan is there, I can 100% tell you, the same discipline will be maintained. Down the line, I am not sure who will be leading the tradition. Of course it will be there, syllabus will be there. But syllabus, like Chitta Vritti, modifications will be there. Now you can see, it is not what Vishnu Devananda learned from Shivananda. Now what Vishnu Devananda learned, now in the tradition, the way we train the teacher is different. These modifications will become a robot program. Yoga is never a robot program. Actually, the whole concept of Krishnamacharya is to live in this moment, living in the present. Yatha bhuta tatha kari tatha drashta. Whatever is manifesting in this moment, you are a drashta, you are observer at the 5 levels. He asked me, which dharma you learnt? I told, Adi Tapa, Adi Bhautika, Adi, So, these are the 3 tenets of the Veda. It starts with, then only the darshanas come into the picture. Adhyatmika means by nature we have a tamasic or rajasic or a pravritti of sattvic. So based on our karma, comes from that's called tapa. That's called adhyatmika tapa. Then comes Adi Bhautika tapa. It comes. Adi Bhautika is all about elements. The imbalance of the elements. Entire yoga is dissolving of elements. Prithvin jale samliyate agnim jale samliyate, vayum jale samliyate, vayum agnav samliyate, akasho vayu samliyate. The Prithvi element dissolves in the water. Water dissolves. Water is consumed by the fire. Fire is consumed by the oxygen. Oxygen is consumed by the space. Akasho. Akasho samliyate. Indriyani. So, sense doors is a consciousness. The mind. Sense door merge in mind. Mind merges in the buddhi. Buddhi merges in the chitta. Chitta merges in aham or kshetrajna. This is the prakriti in Purusha. Panch bhautika, adi bhautika. Then calls what? Adi daivika. All our body is called Tantra Purusha. So for every organ there is a gods and goddesses, administrators. If they are Indriya Adhisthana Devatas, in this kshetra, so the Krishna is introducing Archana. Idham shariram kshetra me bhidiyate he Arjuna, this body is called kshetra. Adhisthana devasas, kshetra palaka devatas means every organ, every system is having a devata. 73 trillion cells, 73 trillion devatas administer our body. If any god is influenced that organ, that sense door, that indriya doesn't work. So all Mantra Purusha, all Sanskrit letters are in this body. Tantra Purusha, all the planes of consciousness in this body. Adi Daivika, everything in this body. Adi Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, it has to be realized in this. That's how. And the one who realized in this, the one who made this Annamaya Kosha, the one who made this body as a temple is a Krishnamacharya. For him, asana is not an exercise. Asana is a way to connect everything, all the limbs of darshanas, yoga darshana. Now, the one who ingrained this philosophy in every pore of him, and the one who is training the teachers in the tradition, you can see how healthy he is. He doesn't go anywhere. One thing I tell you, the other day I was telling you, I am also afraid Krishnamacharya's teachings being sold in America in workshops, etc. by his own students. The first one contaminated Indira Devi, and I share openly with my conversations with him. Then Pattabhija went on to establish, and so it is so popular, everyone charges hefty charges. And so Iyengar Yoga is expensive, and the most affordable, and in fact is never charged, even for this course. It is to sustain the charity, I never even know, afterwards I came to know this, so a course is run by, Viniyoga course is run, aptly named. But the most important is authenticity of the tradition, authenticity of the Guru. That's why you will not find Iyengar claiming as a Krishnamacharya's tradition. No. But here is a tradition which represents it is a Krishnamacharya's tradition. So, I have a noble soul. I told him, I am seeing Krishnamacharya in you, sir. When I met Krishnamacharya, his skin is like that, his face is like that. So much of graciousness on his face. If you see Krishna, graciousness you will see. That all that yogic qualities, that relaxed state you will see in his form. In every of his movement you will see the graciousness. When he relaxes, when he sits, when he lies down, everywhere you will see the graciousness. Gracious doesn't mean there is no strictness. I always went to the gurus who are very strict. And here I have seen, I thought Iyengar is strict or Pattabhija is no. Actual strictness means full of love and compassion, selflessness. But outside completely you should be like a strict. Strict with respect to timings. In practicing, when you chant there should not be any mistake. Or when you practice there should not be any mistake. The one who doesn't allow you to do any mistake, he is a Krishnamacharya. absolutely to the perfection. The whole personality of the perfection. You can see those qualities in him. He came here about 9 years ago. 9 is an auspicious number. Now he is a 74-year-old. I thought whether he would come or not. I told Amarendra, please make a contact to Sridharan sir. Whether he can come over, we feel honored. And when he called, there is no second thought. He said, Sridharan sir said he will come. I felt because anyone in their ripened age, Krishnamacharya did not go anywhere to treat anyone. If they could not come, he sent his student. That's how he said, students are always trained. He never went. He never sold yoga, or never he allowed yoga to become inferior. Where is a king, prime minister, very spiritual guru, they have to go to him. He never made yoga to kneel down, understand. And he trained his students, sending them, his own son sending them, or his own son sending the Sridharan. Like this. That is the way you are trained, exposed in therapies. Yesterday you must have, if you have watched his presentation, the depth of the presentation, so it is so beautiful presentation. Because this is a therapeutic course, it is all arranged by gods, I tell you, this pool of consciousness. This conference is not planned before this course, let me tell you, but it so happened. Nothing is coincident, nothing is accidental. It is all Daivika. It is all Adhyatmika, it is all a pool of consciousness. Arrangement it is. That, so we are lucky. His presence is here to get his blessings, to get his teachings. He asked me how much time I should take. This mat belongs to him to show anything. And the time belongs to him. Not like yesterday, it is not a conference. I want him to share what his core learnings and core secrets, because those secrets should not go away with him. And whatever is kept in the scripture, it is scripture, not his voice. But what we miss is his voice. His experience flows through the sound. Vani is the most important. The sound of Krishnamacharya is the most important. The sound of Sridharan is the most important. It is all Shruta Sampradaya. Veda is all about Shruta. I have to sit there, So fold my, hands. Upanishad, I have to sit there at his lotus feet. I have to listen. Then only the cells, the fastest way of learning is the ears. Grow ears over the horns. The people grow the horns, not the ears. The spiritual growth is all about growing the ears. Bhadran Karnebhi. The entire Upanishad starts with Bhadran Karnebhi. Oh gods, protect my ability to hear. Never increase my ego. Let my ears be open. What protects you is the ears, nothing else. Not eyes. Shrunayama Deva. Let me, oh gods, give me the capacity to listen. All that we pray, all that Upanishad starts with this. All our health in this. It's all listening. The importance of Shruta Sampradaya, that is going away. We are becoming impatient. You want to read. Yesterday one of the finals so Diksha is talking about, he said scripture, learning through the scripture. No, learning through the scripture is dangerous. I'm telling you. Yoga should never be learned through the scriptures. Yoga has to be learned from and Prachaksha, directly the one who experienced it. Directly from his darshana, when you watch his movements, Shruta, when you listen to him. So today, now it's the time I think he is the one who has profound experience, paralysis cases too. So Parkinson diseases too. I know Krishnamacharya. Every bedridden cases where the doctors have, they said not possible for them. 40 years of his experience. He can tell hundreds perhaps of the cases that what he practically handled. Practically he is involved in the therapy. He himself now as a therapist, a senior surgeon of yoga I couldn't call. Sushruta. Sushruta is not a name of Dhanvantari Shishya. Understand? Charaka, Patanjali is called as a Charaka. Malan Sharirasya Vaijyakena cha. It comes from the Charaka Samhita, the shloka. Yo Pakarottam Pravaram Muninam. It is not Nala Maharaja, it is Damayanti. It is not no one. It is the Patanjali is called Damayanti. Patanjali is called Charaka. Patanjali is called, So the one who restored the legacy of the sound of the Shiva directly witnessed in, he is born in a very sacred place where these statues, where these agamas of the sculpture still remains. This is possible only in Swami Malai Kumbakonam. Kumbakonam is sacred secret of the gods and their architect. The way it has to be sculpted, the way the metallography, the alchemy, the center of the alchemy, what is the ratio of the copper? We use only 99.99% not recycled copper for all this. It is 99.99. Kumbakonam and its places. It is sacred place where all the 9 grahas all around are placed. It is very geometrically placed by the gods themselves. Very, very sacred place where still the culture, the family, like yoga survived. Every art, every culture, its course still survives. Where it is a nrutta, where it is a natya, where it is a mrudha, where it is a nadha, where it is a nadha, where it is a nadi, where it is. Sangraha, where it is a vigraha. That is only the college in India, authentic college of the sculpture, still it continues. Even you compromise, you can't. Now the next, our original studio, now we have paid 6 lakh advance, 6,000 pounds we pay as an advance for Goddess Saraswati to be made. They have to be full metal except the base. Then only the sound reverberates. The Spatika absorbs the sound and radiates to the gods, entire field of consciousness. That's how the Himalayan technology. In Himalayas it is Spatika. In South it is all metal. Because South is low level. That's why the towers of consciousness, every temple you will see the gopuras. Himalayas themselves are temples. But in South, all towers, big towers, radiating with the sanctum sanatoriums. So to the core Vaishnava Sampradaya and Shankaracharya Madhyamena and Krishnamacharya said Nadamuni Madhyena. And for him, he worshipped Nathamuni. He is I think 12th or 14th Guru of the Vaishnava Sampradaya, Ramanujacharya and subsequently Nathamuni. He is adored Nathamuni. He said he never came across, but so the people accomplished Samadhi. You are guided by the your Ishtadeva, your Gurus, Kula Devatas, connecting to the God. Like yesterday, Garuti was telling, he is guided to translate. So also Krishnamacharya. So also me, I always tell, what flows through me is the pool of consciousness. That's what Krishnamacharya told. What flows through me is a Vishnu. Is a dynasty, Dharma. I am only Dharma Karta. I am only a Shrota for the Shrutas. So now I think, because when you call a Nobel laureate, to tell about a Nobel laureate, you have to be at that level. An ordinary person doesn't know about the Nobel laureate. If I have to talk about Krishnamacharya and today introductory speaker at the age of 74 now, I wished I could have served Krishnamacharya. I did not have opportunity. I was telling him, if we have opportunity as a tradition to serve him, to keep him healthy, to protect that tradition, to serve that tradition, we feel honored. Today this studio, this tradition, We call traditional yoga. We only believe in the traditions. I believe in Krishnamacharya. He's authentic. You do not know. So if I express exercise physiology of his each krama, there you will understand, his supremacy in understanding the asana as every aspect. So now I hand over the mic. He's a banker. Bankers are very misers, self-centered at any age. But you see, once he came in contact with Krishnamacharya tradition, became selfless. He became a servant over there. I am a servant. And now, full time, he is entrusted as he is a chosen one by Deshikacharya, the own son of Krishnamacharya. He is a chosen one to lead because how much belief they have in him, how much trust they have in him. Understand. The Deshikacharya could have believed some Westerner, no, A.G. Mohan, no, or Ramaswamy, no, who claim to be authentic teachers. No. Why Deshikacharya chose Sridharan? Is he a kith and kin? No. So that itself stands out the supremacy of Krishnamacharya. For him, Vasudhaiva Kutumbam. Anyone who actually understands, who doesn't compromise in administering his teachings. That's how his son learned. And his son kept the right person. I'm telling you, my interactions 9 years ago or today, maybe if I find some time, but now all of us, we are engaged in serving the Dharma, That's only the thing. The best way to, to satisfy the Krishnamacharya is, teaching is the Dharma, not diluting it and enhancing it to make it available for many, So he is in that job 24/7. Even during the COVID period, he tell, like we went on online. Ours is never a tradition to go online. I am against online. So also the Krishnamacharya tradition against online. So, but yes, because the COVID period we need. So we have to be active as a yoga community. Naturally they have gone online. It's not that we ever wanted to go online. But today, how lucky that COVID make us to reach many in that way. It is really beneficial, I tell you. The online, I never expected Krishnamacharya teachings from Chennai would be available. But now, the one who made them available, the one who is administering them, here is the person. Incredibly grateful, incredibly feel honored. And I tell you, I am so grateful to him for protecting the tradition, for carrying on the tradition. Whatever is required, all my help will be available for him to maintain that legacy. Now is the time. I request Sridharan sir to educate us about his experience with the therapy and his association, every word with his guru, whether it is a Deshikacharya, whether it is a Krishnamacharya. Directly learning from his experiences, we experience it. We connect it to that consciousness. So he should not hesitate at all. It is not a conference. It is his home. Tadadrashta Swarupe Avasthana. This place is his home. So he should speak as if he is speaking from Krishnamacharya home. It is his home. We treat him as a Krishnamacharya only. He is a true representative of the tradition. I must tell you. And I clearly told, Iyengar is not the true representative. Pattabhiya is no one. Here is the one. I don't hesitate. He is a true representative of the tradition. So thank you, sir. Now, please, so speak over. No, you can sit there.
Can I come?
Whatever way you want to stand, you can.
No, I will sit here.
Yeah. You are.
This is really good. No, I'll sit here.
Yeah, please. I think mic is on.
Hello. Okay. Namaste. Namaskaram. Suprabhatam, good morning. I'm extremely delighted to be sitting here in this healing center. In fact, when I was informed, they told me that the second day morning, that is today morning, they are taking me to a studio. Till I came in and went inside, I still continued to be thinking of studio. But this is not a studio. This is a healing center that Guruji Kumarji has done. It's extraordinary. The vibrations that are here are very extraordinary. And anyone who comes inside will get healed. That is the type of vibrations that you get here in the morning. This place is full of healing vibrations. So, I'm going to be, whatever comes in the mind, because the mind has become empty now. So, whatever comes in the mind is what I'm going to share with you. I'm going to start this with some prayers, and what an extraordinary chanting two Vedic Pandits did. And they did the Nakshatra Sukta, and I don't know, they chanted on two of the nakshatras, of which one belongs to me, and it is providential, Mula. And they were first giving on the Mula Nakshatra. And so, not only healing, it's a spiritual center. It's a healing through spirituality. That is the speciality in yoga, and that's what's happening here. Only when there is a spirituality, the communications are beyond the mind. We don't say that I am so and so, I have this place, I have this star, but they are talking on the mantras which belongs to my star. I'll start with a prayer. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye Yasya Dvirata Vatradyah Parishadhyah Parashyatam Vignan Nignanti Satatam Vishwaksenantamashraye Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmalaspatikakritim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Pundarikaasanasinam Pandurarbhendu Sannibham Akhanda Bhota Janakam Hayagrivam Gurubhyastad Gurubhyascha Namo Vakamadhimahe Vruಣಿಮಹೇ ತತ್ರಾದ್ಯೌ ದಂಪತಿ ಜಗತಾಂಪತಿ ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣವಾಗೀಶಯತೀಶ್ವರಾಭ್ಯಾಂ ಸಂಪ್ರಾಪ್ತಚಕ್ರಾಂಕಣಭಾಷ್ಯಸಾರಂ ಶ್ರೀನೂತ್ನರಂಕೇಂತ್ರಯತೌ ಸಮರ್ಪಿತಸ್ವಂ श्रीकृष्णमार्यं गुरुवर्यमीढे विरोधे कार्तिके मासे शतताराकृतोदयं योगाचार्यं कृष्णमार्यं गुरुवर्यमहं भजे कृष्णसूरीदयापात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्देगं योगदेशिकं श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ शन्नो मित्रशं वरुणः शन्नो भवद्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. The prayers or common prayers to removal of impediments, etc. Most of us know from starting from Shuklam Bharadaram. And then there is a prayer to the Lord Hayagriva, the Lord of the learning, which is the personal deity of Krishnamacharya. He has written a number of compositions on Hayagriva. It is the Hayagriva which, according to him, has given him all the learnings. A God with the heart space. Then I recited a prayer on the teacher Krishnamacharya and another prayer on Desikachar, and then the usual Saganavotu, which is asking for protection of both the teacher and the student, and then one of the Shanti Mantra, Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha, Mitra, Surya, let him give auspiciousness, protect. Now I am going to chant a part of one mantra which is very close to the heart of Krishnamacharya. This generally is a part of the Vedas, and this is sometimes called as Narayana Upanishad. It is about Narayana because it's his personal God of Krishnamacharya. And I am giving the second part of a 4 chapter verses. Om Pratyakanandam Brahma Purusham Pranavaswarupam Akara Ukara Makara Iti Tane Gadha Samabharattade Tadomiti Yamuktva Muchyate Yogi Janma Samsara Bandhanat. Om Namo Narayanaayeti Mantropasakah Vaikunta Bhuvanalokam Gamishyati Tadidam Param Pundarikam Vijnanaghanam Tasmat Taditavan Matram Brahmanyo Devaki Putro Brahmanyo Madhusudano. Om Sarvabhutastamekam Narayanam Karanarupamakara Parabrahmom Etatatharvashiro Yodite प्रातरदीयानो रात्रिकृतं पापं नाशयति सायमदीयानो दिवसकृतं पापं नाशयति माध्यन्दिनमादित्याभिमुखो धीयान पंचपातक उपपातकात् प्रमुच्यते सर्ववेद पारायण पुण्यं लभते नारायण सायुज्यमवाप्नोति श्रीमन्नारायण सायुज्यमवाप्नोति य एवं वेद इत्योपनिषत्. This is a special mantra. It actually starts with Atha Purusho Gavai. It talks about the greatness of the Ashtakshari Narayana mantra. And you can easily see the mantra is so simple. This is a part closer to Krishnamacharya. He had written it by his hand, and we used to display it in Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. As I sit here, as I told in the beginning, my mind has become blank.
Sir, it is the place.
No? Before I came in, and before I stepped into this, and there were so many thoughts going on. I was telling Usha, what do I talk, what should I do? Should I talk on this, that? The moment I sit, the moment you showed me, one step in. Chitta Vritti Nirodha. We can get this Chitta Vritti Nirodha in this place. I get this in some places, in the temple, where I told you in Kumbhakonam. That's why I have gone there. I just go and sit in the presence of the Lord there, particularly in the month of Margazhi. I used to tell people, if we have to get it, we need to do a lot of pranayama, coupled with some chakras, meditation, you will get it. Every day I do that. And at the end of the meditation, I will be in that state of no thought, thoughtless state, where only the akara of the God will be there. Maybe that could be a state of mind. But in rare situations, only in temples, Garbhagraha, you get that. We get it here. It's an extremely beautiful place.
It's from Tanjavur.
Ah,
A 100-year-old Veda.
yeah,
120 years.
very, very wonderfully done. And anyone,
Your presence, right? Just connecting Sailata Shavatara. Saligrama,
Yes.
our third deity Saligrama.
mm,
And so after energizing 1 year, so we want to give it to the students who really wants to keep them, maintain the sanity.
beautiful.
So because of my acquaintance, the Himalayas,
Mm.
I always say they choose to come here. It's not that, so we want them, they won't come, sir. I tell you, all this. That's for Chandartal, sir. The stone is from Chandartal. Surastal, that's the Himalaya, where, wedding of, moon and moon's son, moon's daughter and son's son. They get it in Himalayas. This is such auspicious, that's called, there's a lake called, your mind totally calms down.
Complete.
That's where actually Kunjan passed. That's where Krishnamacharya told he enjoyed meditating there. So the powerful Spatika.
Now, I'm not able to talk, but I am getting only the mantras.
Yes,
I don't know how.
because of the place, but
Yes.
yes, sir. So maybe
So
I think,
I will do a few recitations
yeah, they are
and I'll connect.
good
I'll
enough,
connect
sir.
them.
And
The first recitation that I get
yes, sir.
is the
It's a
moment
place
I
of
see
sound,
the
sir. That's why sound is
wonderful Nataraja
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
and Shiva sitting.
Yes, Ashtalakshmi. And,
Om Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaya Trayambakaya Tripurantakaya Trikagni Kalaya Kalagni Rudraya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Shriman Mahadevaya Namaha. This is a part of the Rudra. Because whenever I see any, I tell you, what I have in mind, I want to share with you is 30 plus years, more than that, almost 40 years, I had the great opportunity to learn, practice.
Yes, sir. Just your experience is enough, sir. Your acquaintance
with my teacher, Desikacharya.
Yes, sir.
So, one thing that he used to say is, don't call yourself as a teacher. That's what he used to say.
Even we feel shabby to say.
And he said, don't call yourself a teacher. And he will put the hand on my shoulder. And if he was, I feel his presence here, honestly.
Yes, sir, yes.
I feel the presence of my teacher.
Yes, sir, yes.
So
there is no day here discourse takes place without referring Krishnamacharya. Let me tell you. There is no day, I didn't adore him. It's not necessary I have to be there. He is in my soul, I tell you. How much I tell, almost every alternate, every day discourse will be there. Every day the connecting God's stotra I will read, given by which matrices, which ashtapade it is, which grammar in Sanskrit it follows. Explain them completely, which rishi has given. What is the chanda, what is the alankara of that, what is the bija mantra of that, what is the shakti of that, what is the kilakam of that. I always give that exposition. Then only every day, whatever the connecting, so the yuga, karanam, everything I introduce them. Then only it happens.
The vibrations are giving.
Yes. Sir, your experience is more than enough. Actually, your first case you handled, your first interaction with Krishnamacharya, that is only what we need from you, sir.
Yeah.
That is incredible, sir. That we won't get anywhere.
I'll give one more.
I will send my team to Chennai, sir. No problem at all. When you have a time, they will come. No problem.
I'll do one more chant.
Yes, please, please. We are lucky.
Om Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayate Om Tat Saviturvarenyam Varenyam Bhargaha Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhimahi Ti Dhimahi Dhiyo Yaha Yo Naha Na Prachodayate Prachodayaditi Prachodayate Om Tat Savitus Tat Savituhu Saviturvarenyam Varenyagum Saviturvarenyam Varenyam Bhargo Varenyam Bhargaha Bhargo Devasya Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Devasya Dhimahi 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 Dhiyo Dhiyo Yaha Yo Naha Na Prachodayat No Na Prachodayat Prachodayaditi Prachodayat Om Tat Savitus Tat Saviturvarenyam Varenyagum Savitus Tat Saviturvarenyam Saviturvarenyam varenyagum saviturvarenyam bhargo bhargo varenyagum saviturvarenyam bhargaham Varenyam bhargo bhargo varenyam varenyam bhargo devasya devasya bhargo varenyam varenyam bhargo devasya Bhargo devasya devasya bhargo bhargo devasya dhimagi dhimagi devasya bhargo bhargo devasya dhimagi devasya dhimagi dhimagi devasya devasya dhimagi 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 Dhiyo yo yo dhiyo dhiyo yo no no yo dhiyo dhiyo yo na yo no no yo na prachodayat prachodayat no yo na prachodayat na prachodayat prachodayat no na prachodayat Prachodayaditi prachodayat. This is the famous Gayatri mantra.
Yes, yes, yes.
And why I chanted is, this is the time when I am practicing my Sandhya Vandana.
Yes.
By now, it would have been over.
Yes, yes.
I would have offered the
Yes.
morning,
Oblations.
Argyam with the Gayatri mantra.
Yes.
And so I had to mentally do that.
Yes.
Because
It's good.
to
Sir.
fulfill a commitment,
Yes.
and my teacher has said, if you take a commitment, you have to fulfill it.
Yes. Yes.
So priorities are
Yes.
left out. So it so happens that I am in a place where
Yes. Actually,
is happening.
Yes. I always talk about Gayatri matrix, Krishnamacharya proficiency in
and
chanting.
what I did
Yes. And pranayama.
is the mantras are generally chanted in different ways.
Yes.
Mantras, what they call as the way in which the Pandits excellently did.
Yes.
That is one flow,
One flow. Yes. Yes.
Then you split them into words.
Actually, that is smriti.
Yes.
To memorize. Actually, yes.
Tat, savituhu, varenyam, like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Then you do jata.
Yes. Jata. Yes.
Krama, jata,
Yes.
ghanam.
Yes.
So what I did finally is a ghanam. In fact, these Pandits, they complete the entire Vedas
Yes.
and they are called Ganapatis.
Ganapati, correct.
That is why they are called
Ganapati.
Ganapatis.
Ganapati.
I just demonstrated one mantra of Gayatri with the Ghana.
Gana.
When you do a mantra in Ghana, it is equivalent to repeating the mantra 1,000 times.
Yes. Yes.
So I
Actually,
could not do my
it's more of
japa.
like contemplation. It is actually that is the way. That's why I say always it is sound. It is the Sanskrit. Is samskaranayet samskritaha. So it is all sound actually. It is as we develop our voice and everything, the sound comes automatically changes from time to time. So now your sound, say what 40 years back today, that low octave sound comes. So anyone close eyes, so it heals. That is the power of the sound given by the Shiva, witnessed by the Adishiva Vishnu, and that's why he became very heavy.
Yes.
So it is all sound, padena vacha. It is all a sound. It is. I always tell the students, it's all about sound. It is all about.
The speciality
Yes. Today this
of
sound is
this
recorded.
tradition,
Yes. Yes.
is Krishnamacharya Desikacharya, particularly.
Yes.
If you say, what is the one outstanding thing in this tradition? Asana, it is there everywhere.
Yes.
Pranayama, In fact, there are schools of pranayama. There are schools of dhyana. Dhyana is coming up more and more. There are now apps in which you can put them.
We
So
teach
many
properly,
traditions.
darshana.
There are, as you rightly said in the morning, Himalayan traditions.
Yes,
So
yes.
many traditions. Is there any unique speciality
Yes,
of this, particularly
yes,
Krishnamacharya Desikacharya tradition?
yes.
Is this mantras?
Mantras, yes. That's what. In fact,
When I present, after I took over as managing trustee, then Desikacharya will tell me, there is a meeting in Delhi, government is calling, I don't want to go, you go. So, and whenever he says something, I will have to follow.
yes, yes.
Nothing, I can't say
That's
that
also,
I
Shishya.
don't go and all that. In fact, he asked me to teach someone, and I said, sir, you want me to teach this person? I don't. I said, you will have to teach whomsoever I am asking you to teach.
That's, I also tell
Because that is
myself, that's a discipline, sir. That's a Guru Shishya Parampara.
So he says, you go to Delhi, there is a meeting, there is an invitation in my name, you go. So that is how I came across and met various people in Morarji Desai National Institute, Dr. Basawareddy, so many people. So whenever there is yoga meet, I will go there representing Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram,
Yes,
no doubt.
yes.
And what I came across is everyone, anybody who comes from the tradition, they will all be sitting and they will be attracted to the mantras.
Yes, mantra, sound is it is.
And they used to come and say that this is the speciality,
Yes,
particularly.
yes.
Now, in fact, Krishnamacharya, at his very ripened age, as you rightly said,
Yes.
he said, don't worry, you teach women yoga, Vedas. And it is not possible. Now, even now, if a woman chants, nobody will accept, particularly in the Vedic.
Yes, yes.
He said, this is Apatkala. And this is the time when a Brahmin who is supposed to be doing Vedic chanting is not doing. He has taken to other professions.
Exactly, sir, exactly.
So it is the home which is going to do.
Yes.
So in our healing chants department of the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, it is headed by a woman. And there are 10, 15 teachers who are all women.
Wow.
Very rarely men.
Yes, sir,
Meaning,
of course.
meaning the idea here is he made, Krishnamacharya continuously has been making.
Yes, sir, actually, ultimately the sound. Even today here, all my dharana is by the sound. This is in Himalayas, there is a ball, which he did not. Actually, with this sound, whatever we make with the mantra, when you chant with this, actually it automatically matches the sound. It is called, there are two, one is called silence. Sound is, so a sound only connects to the silence. That is the most profound discovery of the Vedas. Any Vedanta, at the end, any yoga, at the end it has to end with a sound only. That's why naturally Krishnamacharya has to talk with a sound only. Nothing but, yoga is nothing but a sound. That is the what. But the way you chanted, that is a sound.
No, that takes me to the next question.
Yes.
Point.
Yes.
Because you are leading. My teacher is leading through you. See, why this sound?
Yes.
Huh? Sound has got two aspects.
Yes.
I generate the sound.
Yes.
I hear that. I generate the sound.
Yes.
I hear that. You hear, he is he.
Yes.
When you hear the mantras, they go into certain segments of the body.
That's what, no, sir. Mantra Purusha, it is. Atu,
When you chant, let me first check the chanting part. When you chant, it is the air that is coming out, whether you chant, whether you talk or anything. But this air, generally air, as I was telling yesterday, Vayu, is a carrier of prana.
Yes.
It's a carrier of prana. It is not simply Vayu. But this air, Vayu, which comes out, and it touches various parts in the
Yes.
places like Talu, Kanta, that is the
Yes.
speciality of Sanskrit
Sure, yes.
pronunciation.
Yes.
And when it touches those parts, they are nadi endings.
Nowadays, yes. Or our cranial
And
nervous system is here.
when those nadis are activated, only those nadis activated in a particular way will give the shanti, will give that state
Yes.
of mind. That is why Vedic mantras are preserved in the same way.
Yeah.
No mantras have been added.
Yes.
You can't add any mantra.
No.
Because
Yes.
it seems, that's what our Acharya says,
Yes.
that you have to pronounce it.
Yes.
Incidentally, when I met my teacher, I need to tell you, I just saw some book and I went to play few places with the board yoga. I will immediately go in. So I will go there. I was somehow not, satisfied. In fact,
Yeah.
I called
Yeah.
one of the young yoga teachers. I said, what you are doing is not correct. He said, I just don't know, sir. He has put me here. I learned some book and all that. So I was looking and I saw a book reviewed in the Hindu called Religiousness in Yoga. And that book took me, and with a special person, because I said, can't meet Desikachar easily. So that person took me. And then the moment he saw me, he said, okay, you come, I'll take you as your student. So the religiousness in book, that book is, I'm keeping it. That became Heart of Yoga later. The book Heart of Yoga now. So when I met him, he will teach me individually. A speciality is the adaptation, modification of postures. So he will modify and then he will say you do this way, that way. So even when students come, when someone cannot do Uttanasana, which is called as Padahastasana, we will bend their knee. So modifications are done,
Yes.
even in breathing, everything. But the modifications are ultimately to take you to the classical position. That's how
Yes.
we do.
Yes.
But when it comes to chanting, no modification.
No.
And the way they are like Zen masters. So I'll be sitting, a lot of women will be sitting. Sridhar, you are doing wrong.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you will get this. Then I learned to do the. So one day he called me he said, from tomorrow morning, why don't you come very early in the morning? I was working in the bank. He said, no, early in the morning you come. I would like to teach you chanting. With his first son, me and one more person. So 6 o'clock I will do the chanting, go home, change the dress, I will go to office. So I learned a lot of Krishna Yajurveda chanting from him. And the speciality of Krishnamacharya's Desikachar chanting is the diction must be proper.
Diction is.
Of
course, Chanda is very
Varna, Swara,
Swara,
Matra, Bhala, Sama, Sandana. All must be there.
Very important.
So I learned a lot of Krishna Yajurveda chanting. And the speciality is, if you correctly chant, the nadis go up.
Yes, naturally.
They rise and that I can feel here.
Yes.
Even the small chants that I am doing now,
Yes, yes.
I can see the nadis are getting up and they are standing erect.
Yes, you are right.
And I want to give you, every time, anywhere, if my teacher is here, he is sitting here.
Yes.
If my teacher is here, he will only do the chanting.
Yes, sir, yes.
He will only do the chanting. Desikachar will say chant. And he will call me, oh, now come immediately. Somebody is not well. Somebody is not well. Person is in the bed or whatever it is. He will go. He will say, come. And what to teach that person? That person who is maybe sometimes even in oxygen or whatever it is, or at home, unable to do anything, start chanting. Yes, he comes, he will chant.
So entire Buddha, now Tibetan, is chanting only.
Om Oshadhaya Sambadante Somena Saharajna Om Oshadhaya samvadante vadante somena saha sagaragnya rajñeti rajñam Om Oshadhayasam Samvadante Vadante Somena Saga Sagaragnya Rajñeti Rajñam Om Oshadhayasagum Samoshadhayasam Samvadante Vadante Sagum Samvadante Vadante Somena Vadante Somena Saga Somena Saga Sagaragnya Rajnya Sagaragnya Rajñeti Rajñam Om Oshadhayasagum Samoshadhayasam Vadante Sagum Samoshadhayasam Vadante Sagum Vadante Somena Vadante Sagum Vadante Somena Vadante Somena Vadante Somena Saga Somena Vadante Somena Saga Somena Saga Somena Saga Rajña Saga Somena Saga Rajña Sagaragnya Sagaragnya Rajñeti Rajña. This is a healing chant.
Yes.
Oshadayasam Vadante Somena Saha. Somena is
Yes.
moon.
Soma, yes.
Moon is giving the herbal properties to the herbs.
Yes.
Healing properties.
Healing.
So I am 60 years going to be
Yes.
at that time.
Yeah.
An incident.
Oh.
I have a son and daughter. Both are abroad. They wanted to do this Shashti of the Buddha 60th year. I said I don't want, but they said you should do.
I think Mike.
Oh.
It just
What happened?
Slipped. Yes.
So honestly I said I don't want it, but they said, the children said, no, we want it for we want to do it for you. 14 years back, you know. So everything is set because we have a Vedic ceremony for that, for Shashti of the Buddha, you know. Now I used to continue to do my teaching and all. One day, for a very important person, who is presently the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. So I am teaching him, his father, everyone. Because Sir says I have to go. Sir, that's what Deshikachari said. So I come back home, my home is full with family people. At night 1 o'clock I get a fever. And I called the doctor, colleague of mine, who is also a yoga teacher. He says, take some paracetamol. I took a paracetamol, but the fever did not come down. On the other hand, I got a pain all over the joints. And I could not even stand up. I had to hang on to my wife to go to the toilet. It is around less than a week for the function. I told my family, it will look odd for me to come like this. and they will say, what a yoga teacher is coming. And said, cancel the function program. They said, no, we will wait and see. My teacher, Desikacharya, hears about this and he comes. He asked one of the teachers to drive him down. He comes to my home, unannounced. I am lying in the bed. And he says, lie down in the bed. Asked my wife to bring a picture of a god and keep it here, my favorite god. He chanted for half an hour. 3 days. Every day he will come. 3 days. 4th day I sat up. Nothing. I did not take any medication. This is my son and daughter, my wife, they are there to vouchsafe this. And then function went off and then he came and blessed everything. And later I came to know that's called chikungunya, the fever, like the COVID. We got into, in how many years, 15 years back, the whole of the India, everywhere, called chikungunya.
Yes,
it takes 6 months to 1 year for people to come out of that.
Joint
the joint.
problem, yes.
3 days. The power of Vedic chanting is extraordinary.
Yes, extraordinary, yes.
So, this tradition is giving the subtle way of healing.
Yes.
That is a speciality.
Yes.
But we are very, very careful when using the mantras.
Yes.
It is not like mantra by dime. You don't give it to anybody.
Yes, yes, yes.
We don't teach. Even meditation we don't teach. That's what our teacher has said. First thing is, belief of the student is to be taken. And we teach only after that. But when it comes to anyone, for them you can do a chanting. They will hear. We have chanted, he has chanted, he always chants in the presence of J. Krishnamurti. You know, he is a philosopher, he doesn't believe in God. But whenever Desikacharya goes and meets, in fact he will take all of us. Today JK has come, so we will go. So J. Krishnamurti will sit, everyone will sit, all will sit and do chanting. See what I have found with another atheistic leader and all that, the chanting appears to be secular, it is different.
Yes.
The names of gods, goddesses and all will be there.
Yes, yes.
But
yes.
It is not the Prakriti part of it there.
Yes,
It is
yes.
different.
Different, yes.
So, the chanting part is the most special, outstanding thing in the Krishnamacharya Desikacharya tradition.
Yes.
Combining the mantras wherever possible, wherever required, and wherever it is permitted
Yes.
is the speciality. So he asked me to start, I came and then started chanting with him, till this end, Desikacharya's last. Me and my another colleague of mine, Dr. Lata Satish, who took over from me as managing trustee later, both of us used to chant a large part of. You see, when it comes to chanting, the specialities are, it takes you to a state of attention.
Yes.
Takes you to the state of attention. And if you would like to get into meditation, you can do so many ways. But chanting is easier way of getting into meditation.
Yes.
I can see that happening here the moment
Yes.
because of the vibrations. So I am only suggesting that you should keep this place in the same holy way,
Yeah.
continuously
we keep
throughout.
Yes.
There is nothing. If somebody comes here,
Yes,
they will
yes.
get healed.
You are right, sir. You are right.
Now, why this Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandira? They say, Gurum prakashayed dhiman, mantram yatnena kopayed. You can talk about the teacher, anything and everything
Yes, sir.
aloud to the
Yes,
world.
Yes.
But whatever mantras have been given to you in person,
Yes.
initiated, mantram yattanena kopayed. Keep it. So when it comes to talking about my teacher, Desikachar, T.K.V. Desikachar, Tirumala Krishnamacharya, Venkatanatha Desikachar, that is his name. Venkatanatha is the name of an Acharya in the Sri Vaishnava Parampara called Swami Desikan. Desikan is that name. Desika generally means the one who shows direction. Venkatanatha is his name, coming from Tirupati, you know.
Yes. That is Venkata.
Yes. And Vedanta Deshika, as he is called.
Vedanta Deshika.
Vedanta
Yes.
Deshika was a great Acharya. Krishnamacharya told me once, you know, what is the speciality is, I did not learn directly from Krishnamacharya, but I will go to his home and Iskachar will call me. Sridhar, before you go to bank, come, you know, Appa is meeting someone today. He is going to talk to them. So I will be sitting down there. So he told one day how he named his children. Krishnamacharya. He said every time a child is born to Krishnamacharya's wife, in the dream he will get a god's. So he named as Srinivasa, Desikan, Sri Bhashyam, Namagiri, like that. So by the time when Desikachar was born, he had the vision of Swami Deshika, Vedanta Deshika. That's why he named him like that.
Vedanta Deshika.
So everything he used to tell me, like, you know, Krishnamacharya,
Yes,
like
yes.
he will be sitting, I will be hearing. But all I learnt as asana, pranayama, chanting, everything is with Desikachar, sir, Desikachar. When Desikachar was very young, he never did any yoga.
That's what I said.
He used to tell me, see, one thing with Desikachar was, he is very plain, straight, and what I learnt is, don't talk anything, you know, which you don't know, or you think you have a doubt, or don't say anything untruth. He will be very plain. One day I am taking a class for a resident medical officer of Apollo, and this person comes with a problem in his neck. See, what will happen, we will be teaching the people, so Desikachar will step in. Even today now it's happening. Only 2 people will be there. So we will go into the room unannounced. The juniors will be teaching, we will be just watching. This is happening in Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram even today. Senior teachers we will visit. That's what I told the Indian Yoga Association. Yoga therapy is not learnt like this in a book and all that. It will only going to take to the dangerous position, then we will get back. Now he comes in and he says, hello, how are you? I said, he is a resident medical officer, sir. He had a neck issue, so I am doing something in the against the wall, use of wall and all that. Okay. Oh, good, everything is fine. Then the resident medical officer asked him, sir, can I ask you a question? Yes. He asked him, sir, I am snoring. Do you think anything can be done with yoga? He said, no, snoring, there is nothing in yoga. You know, you go ahead, do some pranayama. So he did not say, don't worry, I will give you this and snoring will go away. You know, he says there are people. But what happens is, there are people who have come and told us that after they started doing some pranayama, snoring has gone.
Snoring goes, yes, yes.
So he is very, very clear. In fact,
Yes.
this I must tell all the people that my teacher, Desikachar, has never said, you come, I will treat you for this problem, I will treat you for that problem, I will heal you. No. I am something, I will offer.
Yes.
And, you know, maybe you will get healed.
Yes, yes.
So we have been taught, don't think that you are treating someone, you are taking care of the disease and all that. You are offering something to the person to remove some impurities and all that. Be very, very careful that by what you teach, you are not bringing any harm to the person. That is the first thing that is written and taken. So what I teach today, you ask someone to come here into the studio, I will teach. But the only thing is, I am very sure that my teaching, even if he follows it every day, he will not get into difficulty on account of the yoga. Yesterday I said, Ayukta Abhyasa Yogena Sarva Roga Samudbhavaha. It's a speciality. And for a long time, Desikachar was a civil engineer and he studied in Mysore and he is a gold medalist. And even Krishnamacharya never insisted on him to become a yoga teacher and all that. He said, okay, do whatever you would like to do. So he will write a letter to Desikachar. In those days in postcard, Desikachar has told that. He said, the moment I receive the postcard, he say, are you doing yoga? Then I will go on the head, stand and come back. That's all, nothing. And he comes out with, Desikachar comes out with a gold medal in civil engineering, and immediately he gets job everywhere. So he is doing his engineering. He is a structural engineer. He is a civil engineering person, structural engineer. One day he is passing through. He is already about 30 years, less than 30 years, around that period. So he is passing through Chennai, but he is working somewhere else. He is in Gujarat and all that. In Chennai, Krishnamacharya has come. As you said, he has been invited by some people to come to Chennai and take care of some industrialists and others. They invited him with a gold plate and said, please come. So he came from Mysore to this place. In a small place he is living. So one day Desikachar is sitting with a newspaper in his hand in the morning. It is December, Margadi, and his father is doing his puja. Margadi, we have to do the puja early in the morning, without shirt and all that, with all the 12 namams. Suddenly a car comes, a big car comes and stops in front of the house. And a foreign lady gets down. And he says, Professor, Professor. Desikachar says, who is the professor? Where is the professor? Immediately Krishnamacharya comes out. And this lady goes and hugs him. He is a New Zealand embassy person. He is the embassy in charge. And after a few minutes talking to him, she goes away. Then Desikachar says, Father, who is this lady? I have never seen my mother hugging you and in the road. He says, this lady is from New Zealand and she has come here and she is working, she is the embassy in charge. She came to me and said she has not been sleeping for the last few years. And I gave her some pranayama and she has slept yesterday and she is coming here. How can you do all these things? I don't know. I never thought that you can heal and all that you can do. You never studied medicine. You studied only Vedas. I said, there are so many things in yoga. Yoga is, I said, I want to learn. Desikachar asked him, then you come, then change the job. He changed the job to L&T. And he said, tomorrow morning you have to come at 3:30. Desikachar used to tell me. Then Hatha Yoga Pratika. He says, the first thing, Shri Adinathaya Namostu Tasmai Enopavidya Hatha Yoga Enopatishta Hatha Yoga Vidya Vibhranyate Bhronnata Raja Yogam Arodhamicho Abhirohini Va. First sloka of the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. He says, and in the morning, he make him come very early in the morning. He has to go to office, come back. Go to office, go to L&T, come back. This is the story. Now the story starts. So, probably in his 30 years, Desikachar starts learning everything. He used to tell me, I was already very stiff. So, I could not do all the postures like the way I was doing. He has done a lot of postures in his younger age. Desikachar used to do classically. He has demonstrated. We have some pictures where he used to demonstrate a lot of postures. But he gave up. And he said, because I was studying, I was going into. So naturally when you stop, you just become stiff. So his father also makes him to do them with a modification to get back to that. So the use of modification comes here. Now, one day, already all the colleagues of Desikachar in L&T, all engineers, you are all like scientists, they are all engineers. So they ask him, why don't you teach something, some yoga you are learning from your father already? So two rooms are there. One Krishnamacharya will give his students directly. Another room Desikachar, after office hours come. One day, Desikachar rushes to Krishnamacharya's room, tells him, Father, come. What happened? See, to this man, I gave some yoga and he swooned, blackout. And he says, what happened? He takes his pulse and says, what happened? What did you teach him? He said, whatever you taught me, I taught him. I said, that is not the way to teach. Yeah. I taught you something differently. Yes, he has said that he is in writing. Why did you do that? You should have asked me. You can't teach whatever I had taught you. Whatever I have taught you, you should not teach. This is the principle of Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, first and foremost.
Yes, indeed.
Whatever is taught to me is not what I should teach you or him. He tells him. Then how do I do? Come, I'll tell you how. How to adapt it to the individual. Don't teach what you know. Don't teach what just you practice. Adapt it to the individual. He learns by experience. Then goes to him. So what will happen? Every time a student comes, he will take him to the father and the father will say, do like this. That's what happened to even J. Krishnamurti. Whenever he goes to him, he will come back and say his health is like this. Change. This is the system followed in Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram even today. So we have got mentors, we have got a hierarchy. The idea here is, when someone comes, it is the consultant who will be doing this, and when the consultants complete it, they give it to a teacher. Teacher is qualified. This is a system which has been followed from the time that Desikachar learnt. Safety is assured. That's what I am telling in all the forums.
Most important.
Now, Indian Yoga Association, they formed a subcommittee on yoga therapy. They asked me to do. I told them, avoid the risk of doing yoga, because everyone is now tempted to become a yoga teacher.
That's
I agree.
The problem actually that even the yoga instructor course latest actually is like a torture program basically. What we do international yoga.
I told them, it's not the way.
That's not.
And a teacher will have to work under a senior consultant, mentor for quite some time. Now who tells me?
And how many teachers have that experience?
No, who tells you
level to observe?
that you are a teacher? Is it the examination? Is it the TIC examination? My teacher says, you go and teach. And he takes care. When my teacher says, you go and teach, he takes care. If there is a mistake that I do, he will immediately enter into and correct it. I have the ability to go back to him.
Yes.
How many times I have? Whenever I am teaching, I will go to him. And he says, now don't worry, you will be able to teach on your own. You don't have to come to me every day, every time. No, that confidence I get on account of the passing of the knowledge, not in the way of books and all that.
No, not at all.
So, the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram was formed. So he teaches. Desikachar starts teaching, and at his home he will teach, and he goes abroad and all that. He gets a lot of foreign students. And in his home he will teach. And one day he says, what do I do to my teacher? You have to do a Guru Dakshina. He is my father, and I can't give a money to my father as Guru Dakshina. So what I do, I will create this Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, which is a trust. And whatever is earned here will go into the trust. So he will come, Desikachar will come in the morning, earlier in the evenings, now later morning, he will do all the consultation, everything. Whatever money comes, it will go there to the trust. He used to bring foreign students. All the foreign students will come. He will say, okay, take lessons here, I will come and teach. I will ask AOM teachers to teach you. Now, whatever you pay, you pay. So, started with just 4,000 rupees in 1974. This Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram has grown. We have bought our own building. But the amount of years of work and the number of people who have gone through, which is around more than 1 lakh or so, in terms of money, it is less only. For the reason is, whatever is charged is continuing to be 500 rupees for consultation, 500 for classes, one-on-one. The therapy will not pay. It is only through some seminars and other things which we get, which is sustaining. But the mandiram is financially sound there. It's absolutely wonderful. And to see the pristine, clear teachings which are being taken in that tradition. Now we have got a lot of, every department is headed. We have got directors for every department, and director for therapy, director for studies, director for Vedic chanting, and all there is an executive director. We have got a CEO separately, Swaminathan. So the whole setup is going, and we have got all certifications in place, all, like an ISO we have done. Pakka. All files are separate. So the idea of calling someone, giving a consultation and doing a therapy or designing a program is from the Krishnamacharya to Desikacharya. See, this he learned with him for 30 years. So what happens, as soon as, another thing which I would like to reveal. So what happens, Desikacharya starts learning and disseminating, and at some point of time the modification comes. Immediately I told you. In fact, modification according to Desikacharya, there was one question asked to him. When did Krishnamacharya start the modification? They asked him. He said, when Indira Devi meets him in the palace, she was also a bit elderly. So she asked him to do Paschimottanasana. She was not able to do Paschimottanasana. He says, bend the knee. He started it. We all thought that Desikacharya was doing it. No, it's my father has done it already. So bending. So why bending, and what happens if you do bending? Because we can sort something technical. This is what Desikacharya said, form versus function. So if someone cannot do this posture completely, you bend.
One has to bend.
So when you bend, what is required of this posture as a function will be got by bending the knee. In fact, sometimes there are people who have loose joints. If you ask them, they will do the postures, but nothing will happen in their body.
Nothing will happen.
No. So that's why he says, now bend the knee. Now bend the knee. When you bend the knee, you get an extension here. There is an extension that you will get, Uttana, Tanu Vistare from here. So he also went into, Desikacharya had a great opportunity when some foreigners came to him, and one sports specialist comes, and with him he sits down. He is from Europe, and they sit together and they start investigating whatever his father has given him into biomechanics. So when you do something like what happens where the movement. So when you are going to do this, what is the weight, where it falls, where is the center of gravity. So he started learning from them. And then he gave it to us. So even now we have got one paper as biomechanics. So when you have to look at, for example, there are still, with due respect, people think that if you have to have a back pain, why don't you do a posture like this? For example, they say you go like this or you go like this. What happens? These are all postures. When you do with back pain, what will happen, Because you must know that when you are on the prone And when you are lifting the leg, the amount of force that goes in here
yes.
is extraordinary.
Extraordinary, yes.
So it will give way. And that is not, it is a strengthening. So what you have to do more, for somebody who is already having a pain,
yes.
don't go for this.
Yes, zero resistance.
So we have to examine the person. So whenever we go into the postures, we take a lot of time in KYM
Yes, yes.
to unravel everything. We take at least 100 postures. You see,
What I did is actually, this is called actually body of stability and center of mass, center of gravity, the line passing through it. So we have to coordinate, we have to adjust. Consider it's all about balance actually, and without any effort. I mean, there shouldn't be any strain. So we have to allow it to relax and move, and so that it completely frees.
no,
So I use the chair actually because originally.
yes. We also
Yes,
use
yes.
some of the
Yes.
the props here
Yes.
are not really props.
Yeah, yes.
No.
No, that's
For
what
example,
I said.
if you take
They're
a
not
chair,
yes.
it is halfway when you want to bend
Yes,
down, you
yes.
go and it is a reference.
Yes.
Just touch it.
Reference, yes, yes. So is used as a reference.
That is,
yes.
we don't use props and all that.
Yes. I know.
Second,
I know. I know.
second is, so this is the first aspect. So how to modify?
Yes.
So first I started with the use of mantras.
Yes.
Number one.
Mantra,
What was to sum up?
Yes.
Use of mantras, which is the speciality, uniqueness. Second is to modify.
Yes.
That's what they sketches. Why he did. A story like.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
giving a
yes.
story like.
Yes.
Now, the third is about breathing.
Breathing.
Krishnamacharya says that breathing is the most important part. Without breathing, nothing can be done. So if you do a posture, I'm not just doing a posture like I did now, and then you stay there and go away. You have to do breathing in that. And the breathing has to be deep breathing. The deep breathing, right type of breathing, where you use the abdominal muscles, the diaphragm
Yes,
and all.
yes.
So first learn breathing. So when somebody comes to our yoga institute, immediately they are asked to lie down and do the correct technique of breathing first. Only when they learn the breathing, doctors cannot do breathing. A doctor student of mine used to tell me, Sridhar, I know where the diaphragm is, I know but I cannot do that. Why? He said. I said, you have to put your mind into this, you have to put your mind. So we teach the correct technique of breathing, apane juhvati pranam, prane apanam tatapare, prana apana gadi ruddha, pranayama parayanaha. So that is the sloka of Bhagavad Gita, correct technique of breathing. Exhale. It will take some time, at least 1 week, 10 days to get the correct breathing. After the correct breathing is taught, we are also asked to do the throat control, Ujjayi. Because when you do with Ujjayi in a posture,
Yes,
wherever it is possible, when the breathing sound comes, it will give you an idea whether you are already doing any damage to the part of the body or not. You don't have to get the pain to do that. If the breath goes like that, that means be stopped.
Yes.
You are not comfortable.
Yes.
We will adapt it, do that. So next question is to introduce breathing. So first set the breathing,
Yes.
correct technique, and go with the throat control. Then introduce the breathing into that. Now comes the next point, technical point, what we are taught, what we have also disseminated. How do I coordinate the breathing? So the postures can be done in two ways. One is repeat, another is stay. Repeat why? Actually posture is only stay. Asana means to be staying only. Asubhuvi, that's all, to be staying. Repeat is because wherever it is possible, when you do repeat, you try to find out whether you are ready for the day and don't overdo Uttanasana, wherever it is possible. We can't repeat in Sarvangasana, Shirshasana and all that. Even Mahamudra, we don't repeat. But Paschimottanasana, Jan Shirshasana, they will all be the preparation. Most of the time, goal postures will be postures where they will stay. All this Desikachar brings along with his father. He will go to him. This is what I have done, this is what I have done. And yes, he says, make these changes. So that is how developing a course starts coming. Now, when it comes to breathing integration, what he has told and what he has given to us is, first start the breathing, then start the movement, end the movement, end the breathing. This is another dictum in our...
Very important.
So for example, I will demonstrate like this. So now I am going to raise the arm like this.
Yes.
And lower the arm. This is something like Tadasana, you know,
Yes.
but seated Tadasana. Now how will we do? Exhale completely. Pause. Start the inhale. Start the movement. Now inhale, movement,
Yes.
stop here.
Yes.
Now stop the inhale, pause,
Yes.
start the exhale.
Exhale. Now bring the arms down. Yes. We call Anganyasa, like, yes.
Exhale,
Yes.
bring the arm down,
Yes.
arms comes down,
Yes.
then the exhale ends.
Yes. This is
This coordination is another thing we are taught.
Yes, this is actually called in Himalayas, actually Anganyasa, so this is, the way the breath goes. So the intrinsic, extrinsic muscles are involved. So automatically the breath increases. So it facilitates the breathing enormously.
So we get a goal posture,
Yes.
we do Purvanga, Pradhananga, Uttaranga. So if you get a goal posture like Sarvangasana, Shirshasana, Mahamudra, anything, Vachimatanasana, all the other postures will have a sequencing. This is a big, we have made it into...
What, based on Krishnamacharya my spending, so he has said this is the purpose to achieve. So with very simple modifications. So actually we could easily bring those, corrections in scoliosis, kyphosis, lordosis. Very simple movements. Very simple movements, not much really complicated at all. Understanding the principles, either adjusting sagittal plane or the frontal plane or in a transverse plane. For example, when we do, so it is like a typical, when we do, suppose say we have this, cervical problem, when we do like this, when we keep like this, when we go like this, say for example, zero resistance we call, automatically in that movement correction happens. So simple transverse plane, say we have a lumbar problem, we say like this, we just move like this, effortlessly, so just zero resistance. You can see the freedom of this.
Yeah.
So the erector spine and piriform, it automatically gets freed. So many of the people, similarly when we lie down in say prawn posture, as you said, what we do is, so simply we keep legs like this, simply just shake like this. The movement itself allows oxygen prana over there. The movement and secondly prana automatically relax. Makarasana, say for example, we go like this. So this adductors and all sciatica and all gets complete. Simple modification. There is no effort is required. Effortless. The healing takes place only when there is
No effect. Because it is a prana.
Yes, prana. Yes, main is...
See, the prana takes over. Prana chalana.
Yes. Yes.
Prana chalana means what's happening here now.
Yes.
So when you do with breath,
Yes.
the prana
Yes,
chalana
yes,
takes
with the-
place,
yes.
and you go into a posture,
Yes.
and the moment you go into the
Yes,
posture,
yes.
the prana chalana will take.
Yes. With the
And-
breath only.
And
Every
the
movement
prana
has to-
chalana
Yes.
will also be focused towards the chakras.
Yes, of course. Yes.
So when I am going to go into Shirshasana,
Sahasrara.
when I am going to go into Sarvangasana,
Vishuddhi.
one chakra
yes.
will get activated,
Yes.
and all the malas will be removed. When I am doing deep breathing, I want to tell you why this deep breathing. That's what we have learned from our teacher. He says, see, when you are doing the deep breathing, visualize that you are taking the malas here towards the Agni comes down,
Yes.
burns and removes it. So whenever you do the proper breathing,
Yes.
which will also give the three bandhas together,
Yes.
the prana
Yeah.
chalana will take place.
Yes.
Now, one more thing that is speciality of Kevayam is what we call now Kevayam method. We call this Kevayam method. Nothing but Krishnamacharya Desikachar method. And he would be happy. Now Kevayam is known, Desikachar is forgotten. It is his place, it is his baby. I used to tell him, sir, this is your, he has 3 sons, he has 2 sons and daughter and all that. I said, this is your...
Actually, very rare I come, but whenever I come, because after that I do not know. No one would recognize, frankly speaking, if I come out. I always go in front of KYM, always pray, respect. I always offer oblations and go. Whenever I make it come to Chennai, I pass through the KYM, only to pay, only just to respect.
So finally, before we end, one more thing that we do, which will be of interest to you, is we integrate mantra with this.
Yes, it's true.
So what we do is, now you have to do this small Tadasana like.
Yes.
So I demonstrated how we start with breathing. Breathing starts, movement starts,
Yes.
movement ends, breath ends.
Yes.
Pause. Breath starts, exhale.
Yes.
After exhale, after a few seconds, movement starts.
Comes.
Now we have to integrate a mantra.
Mantra, yes.
How will tell you? Now, breathing starts, movement starts. Shri Krishna Gurave Namaha.
Yes, yes. Exactly.
So, first breath,
Yes.
movement, immediately
Yes.
the mantra will start.
Yes.
And most of the times, mantra will be done only mentally.
Yes.
When you do a mantra aloud, it becomes exhalation.
Yes. Yes.
That's a different,
Different, yes,
topic,
yes.
and that's a different technique.
Yes.
So, breath starts,
Yes.
movement starts,
Yes.
mantra.
This Krishnamacharya told or used?
Oh, from Krishnamacharya.
Yeah, that's what
Desikachar.
I'm saying. This we do, actually, but I think maybe we do with Ekam, Dvenam, Trenam, actually, with the Sanskrit words.
Now, the mantra
Yes.
will end,
Yes. Even Surya Namaskar.
movement
we do.
ends,
Yes.
then comes the, finally, the
right.
posture will end.
Absolutely.
One by
It
one. the movement.
facilitates enormously.
So when you do Surya Namaskar, Om Haram Udyan Adya Mitra Maham Om Hrim Arohan Uttarandivam Om Hrum Hridrogam Amazurya Om Hraim Harimananchanashaya Om Hraum Shukeshu me Harimanam Om Hraha Ropanaka Sudadmasi. You can do it in a few ways. That's
Yes,
what you have
yes,
been
yes,
taught.
yes, yes.
So the mantra decides the kala.
Connected, yes.
So whatever are there in terms of kala, kala pramana is done here. So these are all some of the specialities which have been passed on by Krishnamacharya to Desikachar and Desikachar to us, and we try to maintain them.
Yes.
But the question is, we don't give it like everyone. Anybody who comes immediately will not.
No, no. What is suitable?
So what is your belief system? What is important? What is good to you? But most of the time, people are ready to take. And you see, can I give this to you? Yes, they take. Sometimes mantras are decided by us. They say, you please decide. We will do it.
Yes.
But they are subtle.
It is very subtle.
Very subtle.
Mantra itself is subtle, actually.
And they what happens finally before I end, I want to say, when you are integrating movement or asana with breathing and mantra,
Yes.
that becomes dhyana.
Yes.
You just have to do Surya Namaskar.
Yes.
You just have to do Surya Namaskar with breathing and mantra. If you do 5 rounds, you have done dhyana.
Yes.
Already. Asana itself becomes
Becomes,
dhyana.
yes, yes, yes.
There is nothing else required
Yes,
like
yes,
that
yes.
because of the mantra.
Yes.
The mantra makes it So
Exactly.
effective. So I raise the arms and say,
Exactly.
Om
Yes,
Hram
makes effortless.
Bhujyan,
Yes,
like that.
that's right.
So, recalling him at this place, and I'll end with
This is your KYM Hyderabad.
I'll end it's 7:30 now. I will end with some good chanting, because I just
You want to use this, sir? You never used to, but actually this is a traditional way, in Himalayan way.
Okay.
I wish you had been to, you know, when you do with this sound is, when you chant with this, it is very profound. Very quickly you go into samadhi, very quick. You see your heart rate, our students, I all do chanting with this, with dharana we call. So your heart rate comes down by 10, 20. People reach within 1 month 40 best heart rate. That is the progress in meditation. You know, now when we begin a course, after 1 month, with the same mantra, with the mantra with this, so they go into dharana, dhyana, samadhi. They automatically enter into the samadhi. And the heart rate, rest heart rate comes down to 40, 45. All the problems are solved, most of them. Every day I give one dharana based on the stotra, Vedic dharanas given by the rishis, munis. We have the hundreds of like Vishnu dharanas based on the day, based on, you know. So yes, so it follows the same chant procedure. Sanskrit chant, only low octave sound. So that is a healing sound we call.
Great.
Yes, just now whatever you are chanting also, that subtleness of the sound is very important. Actually, this guy, that is very rare I chant, because sometimes when it comes like Gayatri, matra wise, you know, when we chant actually, you know, jata, and similarly you chanted the other mantra. The repetition is very, very important. Similarly, Ganesha mantra also, you know, so Agajanana, actually it is, you know, Janana, Aga, Janana, you know, Padmarkam, you know, so Agajana Padmar, Gajananam, Aharnisham, Anekadam, Anekadam, Anekadantam, no, Anekadam, Tam Ekadam, Tam Ekadam, Upasmaya. The meaning itself varies actually. It is not about multiple teeth, it is all about Ekadam. Even among the multiplicity, so one doesn't lose his composure and his, you know, Anekadam, Tam Ekadam, Upasmahe, you know. So the Sanskrit, the chanting style, actually the same mantra, just like Gayatri we chanted, in a different ways we have to chant like that. So Sanskrit, beauty of the Sanskrit chant is when we go into the deeper, in Kailasa, the same tone, whatever you use, it is the same tone in Kailasashram used. There is a typical Himalayan way of chanting the Vedas. Now that tradition is going. Even in Himalayas it is different, temple tradition is different. But the actual, when I say Kailasashram, the Swamiji whom we call, it is the same style of the chant. It is Vedic chant. That is the first ashram in India, 140-year-old, where Vedic chant is preserved.
Great.
And this Varanasi Sampradaya, from where what you call Ganapatis. You know. That is called Ganapati Sampradaya. So we are fortunate Krishnamacharya learnt actually from there only. That is the original tradition. That's why it focuses on the chant. I focus a lot on, so all the 4 principles today, whatever you are into, automatically
I just have to share only
the
what
movement to sound to prana,
Yes.
and when you couple, effortless it becomes actually. So we are honored. Yes.
Adhyasambhut prithuyairasa Vishvakarmana samavartatati Tasya tvashta vidhadat rupamiti Tatpurushasya vishvamajanamagre Vedahametam purusham mahantam Aditya varnam tamasa parastat Tamevam vidvan amrita iha bhavati Nanyapanta vidyate yanaya Prajapatishyarati garbhe antaha Ajayamano bagudha vijayate Tasya dhira parijananti yonim मरीचीनाम् पदमिच्छन्ति वेदसः यो देवेभ्य आतपति यो देवानां पुरोहितः पूर्वो यो देवेभ्यो जातः नमो ऋचाय ब्राह्मये ऋचं ब्राह्मं जनयन्तः देवाग्रे तदब्रुवन् यस्त्वैवं ब्राह्मणो विद्यात् तस्य देवासन्वशे ह्रीश्च ते लक्ष्मीश्च पत्न्यौ अहोरात्रे पार्श्वे नक्षत्राणि रूपम् अश्विनौ व्यात्तम् इष्टं मनिषाण अमुं मनिषाण सर्वं मनिषाण ॐ तच्छंयोरावृणीमहे घातुं यज्ञाय घातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजं शन्नो अस्तु द्विपते संचतुष्पते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ
I will do Himalayan salutation to you. It's in the traditional craft. This is a way we have to do when we see a guru in Himalayas. This is what I did when I met Krishnamacharya. So in Himalayas, or when you see a guru, and when you go like this.
शरणं प्रबध्ये श्रीमते नारायणाय Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a great day.
Yes. So your presence made so much.
This is a holy
Like
place.
coming home, we felt.
This is a holy place.
Yes,
A very healing place.
So,
Extraordinary healing power. And I tell you, as I was telling, it just flowed in from my
yes,
head.
sir, yes. Actually, sir,
I
whatever,
went ahead to
whatever you said, the same thing we do, exactly the same. But as you said,
I had to share.
Krishnamacharya has given freedom. Means, if you understand the principles, automatically at the end as you said, so what you need flows through. Very simple, But that, the philosophy of the healing remains the same. So very profound, whatever you explained today. And I see that these 40 years, whatever you have been doing, the principles of the healing is the same. The sound integration. This is a typical Himalayan way of healing, whether you know it or not. If you walk into the Himalayas, so actually much deeper, the movement, so actually this is in our day-to-day puja also, we are supposed to do this.
Yeah.
So Karanyasa, Anganyasa, all these, Adhanganyasa and all these are already with the breath.
Correct.
When you say, actually, we say Anaya Swaha, Anaya Swaha, say Apanaya Swaha. This is with Apanaya. So when you do this, automatically, because this is a downward values when we say. And when we say, so Udhanaya Swaha, when we say, so when we say, so Sarvam Vyaptitam, so Vyanaya Swaha. This is we in Himalayan way of doing actually, offering. So you can feel entire pranayama
Movement.
with the movement, with the mantra, and very powerful. This is called Vibhaga Pranayama in northern traditions.
That's right.
Clavicular, intercostal, and diaphragmatic. You feel enormously. So lungs, if you keep hands, mudra, you feel upper part, superior part. Suppose the same mudra, when we take like this, inferior, you can see how the breath goes. When we see like this, anterior, when you keep like this swimming, posterior breath, you can experience it actually. This is when you see this, the lung side is called angular. So when you go like this, when you go, this is called Anganyasa actually. This is, so like when you take the hands like this, when you breathe like this,
Okay.
now you can feel how actually the breath automatically, it allows the diaphragm and everything automatically. Automatically happens. And at the end, so the modification, whatever.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of insight into the treatment profile. We feel honored, sir.
No, it's my privilege.
Please keep it, sir. I have something. This is Krishnamacharya's actually close to heart. I tell you, this book. And so it is the latest. Complete text is not available, but we could resource the original manuscript. This original manuscript, complete manuscript available.
I see.
And with the original, actually those pictures. It is published in UK.
He showed them to me.
Yes.
Some of the pictures he had kept it.
Yes.
That is his daughter. Rammohan Brahmachari's daughter used to put those pictures.
So you will find now.
Yes. Great. It's a gift. Great gift.
Yes. And this is the Himalaya. Yes, this is a pure Himalayan quartz. The visibility means 100 or 90%, 95%. Say for example, this is 97%. So 100% very rare you will get. So that is 98%. This is 100%. The Spatika quality, that Himalayan quartz, it has to be graded one. And handmade it has to be, not actually machined one. This is handmade. And this particular, my friend, is in Himalayas. The source of these materials comes from. This is a Himalayan shisham wood. And what we give you is, this is your 9 mala, that is 108 mala. When you have to play this, you can use this. This has naturally the entropy removes, Prakriti removes, disorder removes. So this is pure 100% again. This is pure. This is Himalayan, not African or something. This is called Sulakshana Mala.
This is Spatika.
This is Spatika. This is Himalayas. When you go, they wear all this one. This is called Suleiman Hakik, Arabs call. Because they picked up. This is Sulakshana Mala. It won't allow any evil to come. And it is very powerful of wearing it. In Tibet, everywhere, you will find they hang, Similarly, this is called tiger eye, this stone, Himalayan. So if you keep it in silver or anything, if you hang, nothing will come. So no bad effect will come.
These are actually called Indian Himalayan geodes. These are there are thousands and hundreds of towers. These are called communication channels of the gods. Once you keep this, so any interpreter removes the gods, anything they will protect. So it has naturally a form of, so protection. Thousands and millions of the towers, needles kind of the structure you will find. These are the gods' communication channels, naturally formed. These are all actually entered millions of years ago when Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva entered into Samadhi. They all entered into the Samadhi. So this is Himalayan space, Akasha. And yes, so we keep it here. And I give you one. This is
Shaligrama.
Yes, this is fossil. It is 2500 million year old fossils. These are. When Lord Vishnu, actually Shiva entered, they gave the doctrine. Every species entered into the union, so they have become like this. So this is from original Shaligrama place. So yes, that's a new one. Yes. I wished I could have given to at that time, but yeah, so
It's very.
But you are the representative.
No,
of it.
extremely.
The energy here is all because of
Yes.
the originality. So you should have one for you, and one for KYM. You keep one in KYM. That's my. This is a big one.
Yeah.
This you
I'll
can
give it.
one. Yes. So because it's a Krishna Mandir, Krishna Acharya Mandir.
Yes.
He adores Vaishnavite, Lord Vishnu. So anything given, nothing, sir. But it's not that they choose to come to you. Always I tell, they choose to come here. They choose to come to your place. You have come to receive them.
Great.
Lord Vishnu's blessings, Krishna Acharya's blessings.
He is here.
Yes, sir.
His presence I can feel.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
Sir,
sir.
most
It was
welcome,
more,
sir.
very
No, sir.
nice of you.
Yes. So, Jarta, we never sell them, only we give the deserving. If where they have to go, they go. They choose to go.
Oh, this.
They sell.
In my home,
Sir.
I have got a kshetra of 12 shaligramas, which I do puja every day.
Every day, yes.
And with mantras,
Yes.
whatever I learned from Krishnamacharya and Deshikacharya, there is a paddhati.
Yes.
In fact, as I told you,
Yes.
Deshikacharya shot it
Yes.
to me, and how to do the Buddha Siddhi Krama, after which we have to do this.
Yes.
So, that shaligramas, I am keeping them.
Yes. And one shaligrama of conch you will get. One is this chakra.
A chakra.
One is conch. Conch, I will give you one. Still not available. You will be getting, God's grace. Conch also quartz. You will be amazed. That's also 2500 mil. That is actually Shankha Chakrasya Dharina. So, yes.
Sir, today is a very blessed day for me. Great.
It's our
My
pleasure.
teacher's blessing.
So it's a pleasure.
He is here, sir.
Yes.
Please, thank you. It is his blessings. I am passing on his blessings to you. I am thinking of him.
That's also, I always say, so they choose us to flow. The
Thank you.
communication. Yes.
Made my day.
Thanks a lot for coming. And,
It is my
our students.
It is my pleasure, and it is not only pleasure.
Any time, sir, you want to come, give a lecture to us.
My good
sir, any time I tell you, you feel like coming, communicating, please come. We will take care of you. The way you are treated.
Extraordinary tapas you have done in keeping up this place.
Yes, we have done intense, sir, 35 years tapasya. That's all. This is Lakshmi stone, sir. This is called pink quartz. This is a Lord Goddess Lakshmi's. That is. This is called pink quartz. It is like God Lakshmi's favorite. That's why we kept there actually. This is Shiva's
very famous, communication.
Hiranyavarnam Harinim.
Yes, yes. Yes,
Wonderful.
sir, yes,
It's
sir.
more than, it's like a temple.
Yes, sir, yes.
Kshetra.
Yes, Kshetra, sir. It is a Kshetra, I know, sir, it is.
You've done an extraordinary thing. I will take some water.
Because when the sound goes from here, so that it will have a... Sir,
Thank you so much. Sir.
Sir, most welcome. And you want to carry one ball?
Huh?
I give you one ball. Actually, this is what Himalayan traditions famous for,
No, how to carry it, that is the problem.
We will send you, sir. We will send you. We can send you. Don't worry.
I am not able to. The Buddha that you have given yesterday, I'm going to give,
That is of course.
that please send the Buddha or take it with you.
This even you can't get. You just see it, the weight.
Oh, yeah. Very, I see. Just to be kept there and...
The mantra in Himalayas is always goes with this, sir.
oh, that's all.
You the same chant, you practice and you see the effect.
That's all. Oh.
You listen to this sound.
Yeah.
You see it will within no time. Sound produced from silence.
More than here.
Sir.
Oh.
You just do this and you practice, you see how powerful healing it becomes. This is for your home practice. This is a lamas used. This is 700-year-old ball
Oh.
from Tibet. Sir.
I hope it is because my teacher's blessings. Everything is
That's
teacher
what,
is
sir, so, sir, your teacher is from there. Our teacher is from there, from Himalayas. Not many people from Himalayas, I tell you. So we send you this, one this, and it will reach you. I will give it to you, a volunteer.
I was telling her, if they can help me with Buddha also.
They will help
I can send
you.
it.
Yeah, we will send it by courier. Everything we pack. You don't have to worry about the small things. So we will
Thank you.
definitely arrange. Yeah.